There are different outstanding issues in Tigray. The humanitarian issue, the human rights and related issues, and generally the rehabilitation and the reconstruction of Tigray today is a very timely and critical issue to address all outstanding issues there in Tigray. There are many players, the permanent government officials and implementing bodies around that, the line ministries, the provisional government of Tigray and its apparatus, the humanitarian organizations, non-governmental organizations, and other players around this agenda. So I think it's time to move in line with to address the problems and related issues there. So far, there are many commendable progress in Tigray, but still different problems to be addressed there. So it needs a concerted effort between different pillars, the government, executive bodies, and all partners. I think it is good to have a common understanding what's happening there, commendable progress on the ground, and outstanding issues to be addressed by different players. Unless and otherwise, simply denying the progress there on the ground and different misinformations, unfounded facts and the like will affect our interventions and proper actions there on the ground. At the same time, government is very much committed and courageous to act accordingly to address all problems there, because they are our citizens, we are responsible for that, and we are committed to work with different partners as per the guidelines and the guiding principles there. First, let's invite Madam Mufariat to present the progress report, humanitarian support, and other related issues.
I would like to say welcome. This is an excellent opportunity for us and for our partners as well. This is a high-level meeting that brings all the stakeholders together so as to get clarification on the ongoing efforts in Tigray. We've tried to see your concerns for the last few months. We've received the outstanding issues from different organizations, so that my presentation will focus on the activities, including the concerns raised by the different organizations and some of embassies. We went through different phases of distribution. For the first round, 4.5 million beneficiaries have received the food assistance. For the second and third round, 4.9 million beneficiaries have benefited from the two phases. For the first round and the second round, the major share was the Ethiopian government, it was 70%, and 30% was from different NGOs, international organizations mainly. Now we've changed the approach. Formerly it was 2 operators who were operating in Tigray region. Now we've reached 6 operators. The share for the government as well as the different operators has changed. Now the share, what I mean the share in terms of coverage of areas, the government is covering 14% of the areas. The remaining of the 93 waradas in Tigray, the remaining 86% is covered by the different operators, the 5 operators who are working in Tigray. Concerning the non-food item, more than 79,000 emergency shelter and NFI kits are distributed. 33% of the total requirement is covered. So the more than 70%, rather 67% is not yet addressed. The demand from the non-food items is still, the gap is wider, so we need to work hard concerning the non-food items so as to fill the gap. Concerning the IDPs and refugees, there are about 1.7 million IDPs in Tigray. A plan considering the international standard is designed to providing service to IDPs. Currently, we're closely working with the Amhara and the Tigray regional states so as to return the IDPs in the western part of Tigray. Concerning refugees into camps before law enforcement operation, the number was 19,200. We hear different kinds of data concerning refugees. This is a confirmed data. It was the latest data on October, so it was 90,000. So we transported to the 2 camps about 8,427. From Addis, again 800. There are also refugees registered in Addis Ababa. About 3,677 refugees are registered in Addis Ababa. There are 740 in Mekelle, in Adigrat, in Barahli, in Afar. So far, we've registered 14,000 refugees. Estimated unregistered refugees were in Addis are 3,000. So with this, we can see the actual status of refugees after law enforcement in 2 camps. Otherwise, in other camps, they are getting their basic services. Concerning the health situation, about 46.5% of the health center and hospitals made functional, and the investment in reconstruction for hospitals was this amount. Different resources are injected to the regional health bureaus so as to activate the health facilities. Professional experts have been deployed to the region. Health services are being provided for free for all IDPs in Tigray region. Additional 8 doctors and 25 nurses and 15 midwives are hired for medical assistance, apart from the ones who are working in the region. The Federal Ministry of Health has hired more than 120 experts so as to facilitate the service in IDP sites as well as in health facilities in the region. About 17 IDP centers with large population are the focus of the health professionals who are hired by the Ministry of Health. 65 mobile health teams are established. Till now, more than 300,000 people have received a service from this mobile health teams. And ambulances are given for the region, additional, and there were about 65 damaged ambulances which are maintained, and now they're serving at different health facilities. COVID-19 testing has started. With the latest report, we have more than 118,000 vaccine doses are supplied. Of this, more than 68 people have got vaccinated, and it's work on progress. Concerning the GBV, the psychosocial support is a priority, and about 57 mental health, psychological, and social support professionals are providing services in 6 towns. There was only, before the law enforcement, the one-stop service was only in Eider Hospital at Mekelle. Now we've expanded different one-stop service in Aksum, Shre, Maicho, and Adigrat, in addition to the existing Eider Hospital. So we have 5 facilities in terms of one-stop service in Tigray region. And a toll-free line has been set up for reporting to prevent and reduce the risk of gender-based violence. Agriculture is another area of focus. As you know, without production, the situation in Tigray will be very complicated. So we've focused on the Belg as well as the Meher. So during Belg, as you know, though the major share in Tigray is Meher than Belg, but during Belg, the progress was not as intended. There were different challenges, but there were different efforts that based on irrigation, especially in areas where the infrastructures were not damaged by the operation, were active in 7 waradas. So in those waradas, the production was good, and they delivered their products to cities, including Mekelle. But our major focus is on Meher. So we've tried to deliver the different agricultural inputs. Till now, the data show that more than 1.2 million farmers are participating for the Meher preparation. Land to be cultivated is 945,000 hectare. The production expected is 20 million, more than 20 million quintal. So the region cultivates to 950,000 hectares, apart from mechanized farming. So the current status is in 50 waradas, most of the land has been cultivated. In 31 waradas, significant portion of the land is cultivated. In 5 waradas, partially cultivated. Approximately 70%, of the land is cultivated. Fertilizer supply and distribution, both the NPS and urea have been purchased. 580,130 kg out of the planned 800,000 kg and 480,000 kilograms have been purchased. A total of 536,000 kg, which is 67.12% reached Mekelle Central Warehouse. A total of 329,545 kg, which is 75% of Mekelle Central Depot, including 282,115 kg and 47,430.5 quintal have reached port. A total of 207,434 quintal urea, which is 57.6% reached Mekelle Central Warehouse. By the way, the cooperatives are actively engaged in dispatching the different agricultural inputs. We have a very strong cooperatives in Tigray. They are the ones who are distributing the agricultural inputs. And seed supplies are also part of this package. A total of 100,000 quintal of various seeds are planned, and of that, 41% has been produced, and 37,599 quintal has been delivered yet. So it's still progressing. Accountability and legal measures concerning this matter. We are working on the basis of 4 mechanisms of accountability. One is the military justice system. The second is the federal justice system. The third one is the regional justice system. And the fourth one is the joint investigation of Ethiopian and UN Human Rights Commission. The military justice system has so far investigated and brought to military courts about 60 soldiers, 60, who have been suspected of committing rape or killing of civilians. Some of these soldiers have already been convicted and sentenced. The federal justice system has focused on the allegation of the killings of civilians in mass, particularly in Maikadra and Aksum. The investigation for Maikadra has been completed and the judicial process has begun at federal courts. The investigation regarding Aksum is being finalized. The regional law enforcement agencies are also investigating allegations of rape and sexual assault in different parts of the region. The UN and Ethiopian Human Rights Commission have also deployed a joint investigation team to investigate the allegations of atrocities and serious human rights violation. And on this matter, we are following the policy of zero tolerance.
%90% of the Tigray population means, in real term, it is 5.2 million. So the 5.2 million is disaggregated into 4 components: Rural Safety Net Program, relief, refuge, and IDP. When we look into the figure of PSNP 5, it is 1 million. It is resources well secured, the resources well predicted. There are participants from the PSNP donors here in this meeting, so that 1 million of the beneficiaries should be deducted from 5.2 million. Second, there are around 40,000 hectare refugees who are dwelling in Tigray, so that in terms of refugee resource, it is well secured. Especially IM, UNHCR, and WFP are managing well the refugee case. So in addition, the 4,000 should be deducted. The remaining 3.5, it is relief figure. Most likely, it includes the IDPs, because the IDPs are moving from one area to one area. Now we are tracking and tracing the place of origin and the place where they are now. So it should be corrected. So it might be for mobilization of resources. I know that there is global competition in order to secure resources, but should not be at the expense of Ethiopia image. This should be corrected, the first one. 5.2 or 90% of the Ethiopian population are in danger. There is possibility or probability of famine. It should be corrected.
Ethiopia is progressing in bringing about peace and stability in Tigray region. This is the hard fact. It's not as social medias and some actors are reporting. The fact on the ground regarding to peace and stability in Tigray region is really otherwise. Of course, I recognize that there are some few local places where insurgencies are there, very few places. Otherwise, all the region, Tigray regional state is really progressing in terms of security and peace. Particularly, I want to confirm that really we are so much concerned about humanitarian and human rights issues. Ethiopia has no space for any impunity. For example, like I witnessed that we have taken 60 troops, army accountable. And we are also working on the other, if there are probably some troops who have raped and engaged in human rights violations. We are working to make all the access possible for partners, even including to the rural areas. We are coordinating all the security sectors. We are working with the regional state, Tigray regional state. Therefore, hopefully this will also give some conducive environment for partners, just for humanitarian support. The other point I want to raise is really, now what is very problematic is information and disinformation. Really, if we are to support the Ethiopian government to work and to address all the structural causes, really all the partnership should take and should rely on really data. Reliable data should be taken into consideration. Otherwise, we'll be biased. So I really want to focus particularly those actors who deliberately disinform. Disinformation is really something I feel very bad just to understand fact on the ground. The other point I want to raise is currently the TPLF is not in a position to formally confront Ethiopian soldiers.
Comments regarding the humanitarian organizations, I'm really proud that we have such supportive humanitarian organizations, UN agencies, working ethically, professionally, as per the standard of the international law, as per the standard of the UN laws and regulations. And still, there are some few organizations, whether they are humanitarian or other UN agencies, they are only here to disinform and misinform. And then tomorrow and then after tomorrow, you will see in the international medias and local medias that only small things that are only serving their consumption can be picked and reported. So you will be seeing these things maybe tomorrow and then after tomorrow. So that I really advise all of us to work from the government side and from the UN agencies and humanitarian organizations, what is really expected of us. Regarding our tripartite work with NIS, INSA, and the Ethiopian Communication Authority regarding the communication gadgets. And these gadgets are divided into 3 categories. The first one is, yes, they are as per the standard, they can easily be released, and they can be used for our partners, humanitarian agencies and UN agencies and humanitarian organizations. And the second one is they are really highly complicated, and they are new coming into the country. And some of the things are not to be handled by even for personal use and for an organization. They are military gadgets. And so if you are in our shoes, if you are on our behalf, and if this is your country, if you are in charge of doing this task, what should you do? Please understand us. So some of the things are new. Some of the gadgets are even beyond the capacity to investigate some of the technologies. So we have to take some time. But some of the things, and most of them are, and because of the committee set up at the airport nowadays, and they are automatic. We have all the reporters, but no one is said about those reporters. And some of the things are even similar, identical with the gadgets that are handled by the terrorist group in the bush.
The progresses in the humanitarian support, especially at the beginning, as you all know, there were challenges in distributing and getting to the points in need in Tigray. There was no problem of supplying them to Mekelle, but distributing to the end users was a problem. But these days, this one is at least resolved by incorporating partners to participate in the distribution process. So there are progresses also in the supply and distribution process in the region. In addition, we are trying to progress in all the government services in Tigray. Though there are damages in all the office equipments, we just started giving services in most of the cities to our people. There are more than hundreds of partners in Tigray. But the support that we are getting is not fulfilling our requirement. Because in order to start the government services, we need to have at least the minimum equipment is required to make on the services. But we don't have. The same, in the IDPs, we have to have shelters to be built, so the temporary shelters to our IDPs. We are not fulfilling this. We just even have less than 10% on progress for Mekelle, for the IDP shelter. So I want to call all partners, or humanitarian or UN agencies, to give attention in giving us more support in the IDP, in creating the shelters, wash, electricity access, road access, and so on. So that, because the rain season is coming and we need to have at least a temporary shelter to protect our people. And also, we should work together in getting back our people home. We shouldn't only talk about humanitarian support, while there is a possibility to get them back home. So we need also your great support in getting back, reconstructing back the services and the required households for our people so that they will get back home. And the government is working seriously in cooperation with all the responsible stakeholders to return our citizens back to their homeland. So I would like to call all partners to be part of this process.
The international community efforts all players
engagements and supports are very crucial. We appreciate those who really are playing constructive engagements and playing your expected role there. But there are few organizations still who are playing an constructive role, circulating unfounded facts and verified data against what's happening in Tigray, trying to politicize and try to confuse the international community in this regard. That is really unacceptable. The source of that data to be clear, and the data be authentic and realistic. Simply creating based on fake news and speculations, that's really not constructive. We have to fight together